Good afternoon. So today you're going to get to see my little messy place, but I have this cute little farm charm going on. So hop on and tell me what you think. Come hang out with me on this cold day. We don't normally get so much snow, but we are getting it this time. So let's see. Whoops, let's see. Go back. I'm trying to pull me up here. See if it's working. See if I'm not crooked or what. Okay. There we go. All right, good deal. So, if you live anywhere around me, you know we got snow that we don't normally get. So I hope you guys can hear me okay. Like I say, this is going to be about 3 different transfers. I hope I've got them all in here. So we're back in my little hanging out craft room today, and hopefully this is going to be clear. It looks like it's a little bit unclear, so maybe it will get clear. But we're gonna make this farm charm today with this cute little cow. And so hi Mary and Michelle, say hello as you guys get a chance to join. So you're gonna get to see my whole messy place this time. It is gonna be an afternoon of quickly painting this again. I just painted this one this morning and I loved how it turned out. So I thought I would do another one. Okay. So let's see. Let's see. Okay. I think you guys can see it and it's not crooked. So I was afraid I turned to have it turned sideways, and I was afraid that it would be the wrong direction, if that makes any sense. And but it looks like on my iPad anyway it's straight. Okay, farm charm. This is one of our new transfers, and I only have one, so I can't show you what it looks like before it was cut up. But it has this cow in it, which I used the other day on a project, and a pig and a sheep and a horse, and then it has these words farm charm. So you can see what all is in it. But let's start out by painting this board. So I have painted this just with some elephant, I believe is the color, chalk paint. And it is ready to do the white dry brushing on it. So that's what we're going to do. And I just like to use this one's from Michael's, I believe, but I use the ones from Walmart all the time too. This one's actually a little bit thinner, which I do like for dry brushing. So let's see. Okay, so we're going to just start at the top. I don't really do this with a rhyme and reason, other than I do try to keep everything going straight. I like the dry brush strokes to be straight, because I feel like it follows your eye, and it's not just kind of, I don't know, if it's all over the place, to me it's like hard to follow. I don't know, that could just be me. So but I like to keep them straight. Well, relatively straight. I mean, you know, they're not perfectly straight, but you know what I mean. So kind of headed in that direction. And some I do a little bit darker than others. Sometimes I do this and just leave a lot of gray. This particular one, I want there to be a lot of white in the background. So if you're following me, if I share this to a group, if you're in the group or you're on my page, you may have to come over to my Design Your Life page so that I can chat with you. So this is what I've been doing. I drove down here to my office this morning because I didn't want to miss a day of creating And it was a little bit tricky, but my SUV does real well. And my husband is down here, so if I want to ride home with him, I can. But I'm actually only, you guys that don't know where I'm at exactly, I am just not even a mile from my house. But we do have, looks like about 5 or 6 inches of snow maybe. I don't know. I haven't gauged it lately, but that's kind of what it looks like. Okay, so this, a quick dry brush. And when that dries, it'll be ready for us to do our stuff on. So what are y'all doing today? What are you up to? I usually come on a whole lot later, but I want to go home tonight before the weather gets, y'all know you can paint with your fingers before the weather gets bad again or gets colder and I can't really see where I'm going. So we don't want that. Okay, I'm going to set this aside and let it dry. And I have one already painted, but let me show you this transfer. So this is the other transfer that I'm using, and it's one of our new ones. And it's the same, it's this pattern in here, of course. So that's what we're going to put on the background. Woo! So you want to be careful with these. They're super sticky. So a lot of times I will fold it in half because then I can handle it. And that is putting the sticky side out, of course. So let me scoop Farm Charm over. And another thing that I do, and let me grab that paper, is when my transfer is going to be bigger than what I'm putting it on, and this is my dry one that I already did. Through the magic of television, I just pull this one out. Ooh, you know what I haven't done, you guys? Usually, especially on a nice sticky transfer, I do 2 other things. So when it's all good and dry, I'm going to lightly sand. And I've also edged this in a little bit of black because I want a little touch of black on here, and I can always come back and do a little bit more. And you can sand this as much as you want and change it up that way, but I'm just sanding it just a tiny bit. And we're going to just wipe the dust off. And then you can see there's dust on my little sheet here. I should have put that down after I sanded, so I'm gonna dust that off right quick. Okay. This one is actually a little bit big to be showing you on here. Sometimes it's a little bit harder to manage in front of the camera. So now we're gonna put just a little bit of wax on. So the snow is so pretty, y'all. I love it. I love it from the inside, from watching it through the windows. But I also love seeing friends with kids and posting their pictures on Facebook. So all right, so that usually that'll dry just super fast. I just put a very, very minimal amount, and you can come back and then just kind of buff it off. That's just to keep that transfer from being crazy sticky at first. Okay, so kind of decide where you're going to put this. Let me scoot this down a little bit, and then I'm just going to kind of fan it on here to where I want it. I'm going to try to kind of center it a little bit. And this is a neat pattern because it's a nice repeating pattern no matter which side. So you could actually use this on a wall or on a table because these sides are going to repeat and you're not going to have trouble matching them up. When I was talking with Eric, our art director at Chalk, at Leadership, I was like, oh, that's a great idea. I'm so glad they thought of that. So, okay, so that one is ready. And I used some of our shimmer gold. And this one is getting a little bit thick, so I could add a little spritz of water to it. Give it a little stir. I don't mind this one being, usually these are not thick, but this is an older one I've had. But this one, I'm going to want some dry spots, because I want this to look, let me show you on here. I want it to look pretty weathered. So after it's all dry, I've gone back and sanded that and made it less prominent on there. Okay. So we're just going to put some paste all over this. And then we're going to take our bigger squeegee and we're going to quickly squeegee this on. Now, normally if you're doing a big pattern and you want it to not dry out before you get all the way to the bottom, you can do a little bit at a time and peel that up. But this one, I don't really care if it does that, because I'm going to dry it anyway, and I'm going to weather it. So that's what will happen if it dries before you get finished. It will look very vintage, or it won't all come off on there. So this is just a bigger squeegee, and so I am just gonna squeegee this all over. I love that these stick down so nicely. But like I say, this paste is pretty dry, but that is really good for this process. This particular one, normally I'm like, hurry, hurry, I don't want it to dry. This one, I don't care, because I'm going to weather it anyway. I'm going to sand it. So, keep this all the way to the edge. And if it doesn't hit every spot in there, I'm really okay with that too, because I'm going to make it look a little rustic. So, with these bigger squeegees though, you can really accomplish in a hurry. So, that one, I'm going to take off all the extra. We're going to put that right there. Normally I would hurry and put that away, but I'm not concerned about it today. So we're going to just peel that off. And then this will go into my water over here, which is messy already from earlier. And so this is how pretty this design is. It is gorgeous. It is a beautiful pattern. And let me move this, put my paste back in here. So put all that extra back that you're not going to use. Put my lid back on. So if we dry this, then you can see how it can be weathered. And this one, I may not even have to sand very much, because my paste was pretty dry. And so it did not get too thick. It has a lot of spots that are kind of weathered, which is exactly what I wanted. But I love this design. I think it's so, so pretty. So we'll get it all dry here, or kind of dry. And then I'll show you what I did with the cow. So this is a cutout that we do. It's a cow tag shape. So it's our farm tag. A little bit different than what you normally see. So let's move that over. Let's see, that's getting close to being dry. So let's do our cow. I got a little white on there on the cow when I was getting a little crazy a while ago. So if you're going to dry brush it, you want to kind of go in the direction So it kind of looks like you can see his ears. I like to use these that are just, this is just black, which is called ink. I like to use these cutouts and just paint them very weathered, because then you don't have to worry about detail, but you can tell it's a cute little cow head. So, oh, let's do this first. Usually I like to do that first, and it gets some of my paint around the edges and makes a nice outline. You can tell I don't cover all of it. I like to hit and miss. I like that rustic vintage look, so I don't try to actually cover it all. Okay, so we're going to just kind of do in the shape of his little head here, or her little head, or whatever. And that kind of gives us that rounded look. And then we'll kind of just dry brush as much as you want. You can do it completely black. You can leave some gray. I usually leave a little gray just because that's what I like. And then with the ears, I usually dry brush. Got that a little thicker than I normally do, but I do it in the shape so that you can tell it's a different shape than his face. And this works good for mason jars and everything like that. And you can come back and do a little bit more somewhere on the side or whatever if you think you want. So there's our cow head. That was fast. Okay. Well, let's see. We've got our farm charm going. Let's see how dry this is. We might can dry both of these at the same time. I am not seeing any comments today, so I don't know if y'all are just watching or if I can't see them. So if I can't see them, I apologize. I don't know why they're not showing up, but let's see. And maybe nobody's chatting today. It is way early from what I normally do. Let's try to get his little ear dry here. At the same time, we're going to make sure this is good and dry. I love using the cutouts. They just give it something just a little bit more, a little extra. When I get finished with this, I'll seal it all. I think that's pretty dry. Okay, so I usually give it just a little bit of sand because I want it to really have that worn look. But chalk paste, the paste is so durable, you can sand it without actually taking it all off. And I just like to break it up, especially on this. I want it to look rustic, and every time you do it, it'll be a little bit different because you're hitting different spots, of course. So this will make it break up those little, and this is just a, usually I get a pretty fine grit sanding block, like 180, seems like. So, okay, so you can, that's going to have some dust on it, so again, you want to wipe that dust off. Okay. Okay, so we're ready for the farm charm words. So this comes together as one word, and I cut it apart because y'all know that's what I do. So let's get our cow up here and see what it's going to look like and where we want it. So I think the word farm is going to need to go kind of almost to the bottom, and then the word charm, and it's got a little flower there, but I didn't use that on the other one, so I don't think I'm going to on this one either. I can kind of see my edge because your paste will stain your transfers. Doesn't hurt anything, but they will stain them. And I could have waxed this in between, but normally it's fine. So I am going to cover up this little bit of flour here with some painter's tape because I do not want to get paste right there. So I'll cover that right quick. My nose is sniffly, so hopefully not too loud. Okay, and then the cow will go about right there. Okay, I think that's gonna look just right. So for this one, I used the chalk paste again, and this is the black, and it is a very dark ink black. Let me see if I've got that farm word straight. Okay, so we're going to do this word first because I've overlapped it that way. So if y'all are watching this later and you have questions, let me know. I think this is going to be a very cute one. I really had fun making it earlier. And you can leave your black after it dries super dark like this, or you could sand it as well if you want to take a little bit of that off. I left mine dark on the other one. Now this is a newer paste, so we use some new and some old. The newer paste are going to be generally much thinner, and you won't use quite as much, which is great because you are going to get more for your money, more bang for your buck. So let's pull that off. And you can see this one had the little bitty marks in there, so it lets some of the white show through, which I love. I'm going to just put this one over in my water right quick, and I'll rinse those off as soon as I'm finished. Whoops, there went my tape and my other stuff. Okay. We're going to do the word farm now. Okay. So I need to be a little careful as I get over here to this edge because I cut this one apart a lot of times because it was long, and of course I needed it to be two. But a lot of times I'll put a little piece of tape right up next to that. You can wipe it off, but since this has a pattern under it, it's a little harder to wipe off because you would probably wipe off your pattern. And I'm so messy, I have black paste everywhere. Let's peel that off. I love the crispness of the words. And there's that. And the snow is heavy again. It was supposed to stop by about 2 or 3 o'clock, but it's heavy again. So okay, so there's that. And this one comes along quite quickly, which almost everything does with chalk. Once you get your stuff painted, it's just a matter of putting your designs on. And mine, it takes a little longer because I'm still deciding what I want to do most of the time. Okay, let's dry our farm charm just a little bit so we don't touch it. And you can let it dry on its own, of course, but I like to dry it so I don't touch it. So if you watch this later and you have questions, you know I'm always happy to answer those. And if you love to create, you will love chalk couture products. You can be a designer and get your products at a better price so you can create more, which is always a huge plus. Okay, there's our farm charm. So then the little cow is so stinking cute, y'all. I love this. So let me turn it around where you can see. So when I get him kind of where I want it to be, I'm going to just drill some holes through there and wire it. I'll show you on this one. Let me show you a close-up. So I just drilled through 2 holes up here in the top, and then I've just wired it on. So that is going to be how that comes about. So let's just slide it up here. Let's make sure I've got it where I want it to be. I think about right there, because we're going to put the floral across, and I usually just drill these at the same time so the holes go where I want them to. And then we're going to do this one right about here. Okay, so let's take that off and dust it off. All right. And now we know our holes are going to match up nicely too. So we're going to need a little bit of wire. Very, very little amount of wire. And our trusty pliers, of course. So this just takes kind of a short piece. So we're just going to poke that through from the back. I'm going to wipe this wire down because some of this wire has a little bit of oil on it. So we'll just look at the back of our project here. Oh, that was too easy. That came right through. I love it when a plan works. Now this one may have its own little mind. Not be quite as simple. I have to wrestle with it. Let's see. Let me get it started through there. From the other side here. See, this is why we have to make sure our farm charm down there is dry. So when you have to wrestle your cow head. I don't know why I'm not getting that one through. The other one went through way too easily. This one, let me push that out a little bit so I can maybe see behind. Oh yeah, my wire's tripping. My wire is curving on me. There we go. There we go. So just pull that through. And then I usually just smash it to the back tight so it doesn't come undone or doesn't protrude on the back. You can kind of just press it down. Okay. So this just gives a little cute little curly wire up here. But more than anything, it keeps your cow secure and you don't have to glue it. And that way you don't have to worry. So that can dangle or it can be tied, however you want it to be. No right and wrong, of course. Just whatever you want it to do. So we're going to use the end of a paintbrush to curl these wires. Because I like them just to be a little bit curled. Smaller paintbrush, you'll get smaller curls. This one doesn't have much room to curl. But we're going to try to get 1 or 2 here. And then we'll use the pliers to finish giving it a twist there. And then when this is all finished, I'll give it a nice seal with some matte sealer. And then it just has a nice matte finish and not a shiny. I like the matte finishes. Okay, and then you're just going to kind of bend those wherever you want them to go. So there's that. And you don't have to wait for glue to dry or anything. Okay, so now we need a little touch of greenery. So I've got some little bundles already made up and I just circled them with twine. So depending on which one you want on here, and then I just wrap it in some twine. Let's look at this one and see what it looks like. This one's got a little touch of red in it. I'm not sure I want that. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. I think I like this one best. But these are just three sprigs, I believe, of greenery. Yeah, this one I like. Okay. Because it has just a touch of color, but not too much to be crazy. So you can glue this on. I don't glue it on because I want my customers to be able to change it easily when they purchase at a show. So I will just, I've got just some jute twine here, jute cord. And then I just start wrapping. I leave a tail so I can finish wrapping it and tying it off at the back. Not sure I can do this from that angle, but we're going to try. So you want to wrap it tight, of course. Let me see if I can. And however much you want. You know, if you want a big wrap on it, that's fine. There's also bigger jute, so that's also an option. So if you want it to be a little bit thicker, you can do that. I just wrap until it looks like what I want it to look like. So something about like that. And then I'm just going to clip that. If in my mess I can locate scissors. I'm just going to trim that off, and we're going to just tie it off in the back. I try to tie it nice and secure. And then of course this will need to be sealed, so it's not finished until I do that. But there you go, y'all. Quick, fast, easy. Thanks to chalk, our life is good. What do you think? Super, super easy, but so cute. I love that cow. I just think that's adorable. Okay, you guys, thanks for watching. That was a great quick one, and I'm gonna get off of here and go home shortly, and I need to wash my transfers first. So thanks for hanging out with me. See you again soon. Bye.